Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Sprites of Life podcast. I'm Lucas,
I'm Chris.
I'm Don.
and that intro did not just take 3 takes to do. Oh God, that was rough start. How you guys doing? Good?
About 3 takes good.
3 takes good. Actually, I haven't gotten to talk to you, Chris, since like before the 4th of July. How was your 4th of July, man?
Lots of fireworks, and my daughter loved them and was scared of them, as one should be with fireworks.
Fair enough. Last week, when we tried recording this episode last time, but then all the tech stuff happened. Me and Don were talking, and I had to share that I am now a man who smokes meat. I am the true man in my 30s.
Yes, that's the progression of life.
That is the true sign of skill. I mean, it was a really good brisket. 12 hours, 250, 225 fluctuating. Heaven.
Now I just gotta get you to do some good Carolina barbecue and get some pig pickings going.
Yeah, but then I have to use the vinegar sauce, and I'm not a fan.
You can always go Western, man. Actually,
I
South
know, I go
Carolina
dry.
I think South Carolina's mustard, so you don't have to do vinegar.
Yeah, vinegar and mustard. Yeah, I prefer the sweet stuff. Anyway. So, with the Pokemon showcase, Pokemon whatever you're gonna call it next week for Nintendo coming out, we figured we should talk a little bit more about Pokemon. But technically speaking, we've talked about the mainline series a lot, so we're gonna skew a little bit off the path today. So me and Don, Don, you've played this game quite a bit recently, haven't you?
Yeah, I recently started playing it again. It was one of my favorite games. Even had the Jirachi Well, I still have the Jirachi bonus disc, in fact.
Cool.
What do you what
Chris,
do you
have
play it what do you play it on?
Don't. Oh, I play it on a totally real and legitimate console, and would never ever emulate it because I don't want Game Freak to send assassins after me.
Fair enough.
noted. Chris, have you ever played a little game called Pokemon Colosseum?
I have not. I this
Second question.
this one has the spooky Lugia on the cover, right?
That's
That
XD
it
Gale of Darkness.
Oh,
That's the
okay.
sequel. We're talking about the OG. The time Pokemon decided to be like, all right, Game Freak, take a break, go work on Gen 4. We've got this other group who's going to work on this game for us. And probably the edgiest game ever created by Pokemon. It is so dumb and so
It's
great.
awesome.
And the Switch 2 should be having both Pokemon Coliseum and Pokemon XD Gales of Darkness on their system at some point. So we might as well talk about it now, get ahead of the game, because Pokemon Coliseum slaps so hard. But before we do that, got some science news. Would you guys like the good news or the bad news first?
Give us the bad news first.
Cool. There was a noticeable increase in the rate of climate change.
That's not surprising.
Would you like the good news now?
Sure.
It was caused by a 75% reduction in sulfur dioxide emissions since 2013. By cleaning up the air by a lot, it increased the rate of climate change in one area of the world and for the rest of us too.
In the negative way.
Yeah, so the good news is millions of people have better air quality and won't suffer from horrifying lung cancers or wretched air. The bad
Cool.
news is that the toxins made it cloudier, and because of the cloudiness, it reduced the heat that was being absorbed by the land.
Okay.
Right.
So
That's why I'm like,
a good and a bad.
yeah, that's why I'm saying good news or bad news. I'm not going to stand here and be like, pollute the skies, blot the sun out with death.
That's literally the plot of Snowpiercer.
Exactly. Do we want to be actually? I really like Snowpiercer though.
Depends on what car you're in, so
No, I'll be honest. It had one of the hardest lines, and the hardest line in any movie I've ever heard was the woman in that movie going up to like the mob of people trying to break in. It's like, you suffer from the misplaced optimism of the doomed, which is the same thing I say now when I play Mario Kart against my family, and they find it unsettling. Anyway, that's one of the weird science news I picked up today. It was just that apparently even when we try to do good, something bad happens. And this isn't like a massive spike. It's not be like, it's all East Asia's fault for this. Like there was a noticeable rise, but not large enough to be like a one factor that qualified most of it. It was just another noticeable notch that increased the rate of climate change. Yeah, it's not great that we worked our way through Snowpiercer fiction, but then also out of it. It's a lot. But as far as gaming news goes, I don't know, Chris, you're getting a Switch too, right? At some point.
At some point, yes.
Cool. Same with all of
Hope,
us. Same thing. Yeah.
hopefully soon. But it's the matter of when they come into stock. Am I fast enough?
Gotcha. Um, you're aware. Everyone here is aware of the bricking situation, right?
No.
Um, Nintendo makes you sign a policy that states they can brick your game and your console basically whenever they feel like it.
Oh yeah, if you like jailbreak it or something.
Yeah, if you play on anything less than the most like golden wonderful way of doing it. Yeah, turns out there's one government in the world that does not take too kindly to that and is formally notifying Nintendo over the clause and like saying, "Hey, we got to talk. This ain't right for the consumers." Of the over 200 countries on the planet, which country was it?
Give me a continent.
South America.
Ooh, Brazil?
Yeah, baby. Brazil. Brazil actively said, like, hang on, this goes against our consumer protection laws, and you cannot do this. And so they're hoping that they can talk to Nintendo and hopefully lessen some of that. Because a big problem is that now the idea being that if we've had this talk before, if you buy something, it's yours, is sort of the mentality people have when they buy a console. But the video game market has changed to the point that no, you're basically buying to use our content how we see fit. You're not buying to own the product. You can't do whatever you want with it. And that's, again, I don't sit right by that. I don't think that's fair. And Brazil seems to agree with me that you can't just do that. Plus, I mean, can you buy a pre-owned Switch 2 now? Can you trust that it's not bricked?
That's that's a fair question. That's the like I get back to the like it's like an iPhone where it's like you can jailbreak it if you want to. We're just not going to cover the warranty or help you fix it if it gets broke.
But this
You
is a
know,
step
like
further.
oh no
Like,
no I get that. I'm saying I'm cool with that side of it, but then this side where it's like it's what you buy isn't yours or you can't really do what you like. That's the part. That's the line that has clearly been stepped.
gotcha. I mean, this is only a notice they've sent. There's not a legal action or a court date. The only other thing I wanted to bring up is that we are, when this episode comes out, a few days away from the Pokemon Direct. What are y'all hoping to see in ZA? What are you hoping to see them announce on that one?
I am hoping to see my theories confirmed that it is grass fairy, fire poison or fire steel, and water ground or water fighting.
Cool. I'm hoping for Pokemon Championship. I want to see more of that. I'm really interested in seeing what the next level of VGC is.
Oh, I should have specified. I meant the starters for ZA.
Gotcha. Don, what
I
about you?
want I want a water fighting gator.
I'm excited for ZA. I also for Gligar, he's one of my favorite Pokemon too. So I'd like to see how he turns out. I don't know. I want to learn more about champions. I have a feeling they're never gonna give up making you buy the mainline game to play like the next thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I feel like Pokemon Champion will be sort of like a Pokemon Home of sorts of like, yeah, you need to play the mainline games to fill this thing, sort of deal. So, it's almost like splitting it up so that way this is where you can have your happy fun times and this is your fight pit as opposed to putting them into one console. Plus, if remember, isn't it going to be on mobile?
Yeah, mobile and Switch as well, which will be cool.
Yeah, that's gonna be one weird tournament if they switch to Pokemon Champion. You brought out the Switch, and some guy just has like an iPhone 15 or whatever. Won't be weird
I would
times.
appreciate if there was more mobile though, because it means that there'd be more phones for Go.
I think one thing that might let you do that is cool is it'll let you draw directly from your Some people think it's gonna be like a Pokemon Showdown, but official, which I just don't foresee. I think it's gonna let you draw directly from Pokemon Home though, which will be pretty cool.
Yeah, just pull right from it. I think that'd be really smart. I'm looking forward to hearing what they have to say. Hopefully, I mean, we might talk about it a bit while me and Chris are in Raleigh, but like aside from that,
I
I'm
mean,
hoping we
let's
get
say
some
if
good
you
stuff.
look at it, we've got this on the 22nd, and then we're only like 4 weeks from Worlds, which is we're probably going to get some big announcement there too.
If anything, we'll get championship stuff from them. Like that would be where I would announce it.
Well, they usually do because like Worlds last or not last year, but like they announced Koraidon and Miraidon at Worlds. Like the world, they usually have some big announcement for like the next mainline game.
God, yeah. I mean, hey, here's hoping. Here's hoping we'll get something. But away from Pokemon, let's talk about Pokemon. The year was 2004. A wild time to be alive. Specifically, this was there was a lull between Generation 3 and 4. Now, before then, you had like Pokemon between like Gens 1 and 2, you had Pokemon Stadium 2, that sort of thing, like between 2 and 3 as well. We expected, I mean, as kids, we expected to get another version of that, but instead in 2004, we got Pokemon Colosseum. Now, in order for you to understand the level of edginess that came from this game, I do need to find it. Um, how much do you know about Pokemon Colosseum, Chris?
Zero.
Zero. Okay, cool. Um, Here is your protagonist, his bike, and his cats.
So we got both Umbreon and Espeon. Hell yeah.
Those are
That.
effectively your starters.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. That's what you take out of this image.
I mean, other than he's on a pod racer.
He's in the Boonta Eve Classic.
Oh, here it is from the back end. Here it is. This is so good. It's still a bike because it has one wheel.
Oh, that's just a unicycle.
Yeah,
Y-
I mean, don't call it that to his face, but yeah, you're right.
So a fun thing about the Umbreon Espeon thing is this was the only way in Gen 3 to get Umbreon or Espeon because there was no day-night cycle. Like some of the games had internal timers for the berry system, but because there was no day and night, you couldn't get the evolutions. Those two evolutions without transferring them from Colosseum.
That's a little nuts, actually. But again, back in those days, it was so hard to find certain ones out there. I don't blame it for being a little bit weird. But no, Pokemon Coliseum, when they showed us the trailers, I mean, if you were like 10 or 11 years old, like I was, it was just like, this is so weird. Of course, I'm going to buy it.
This
But
is Mad Max Victory Road.
oh, we'll get to that. The game focused less on like going out into wild regions, but instead, you are a former member of a gang whose entire thing was stealing Pokemon and turning them evil. The whole plot is you teaming up with your Espeon and your Umbreon, some friends along the way, and capturing evil trainers' Pokemon in order to fill your own ranks. Until the second game, you could not catch Pokemon in the wild. There were basically none in the wild. And you basically had to fill your ranks off only the shadow Pokemon that you got to deal with, which you in playing Go have had way more chance to deal with, Chris.
Yes, I
This
know
is the
what I
origin of the Shadow Pokemon.
that okay. I should have said that's about all I know is that I know the Colosseum is where the shadows came from.
So the game was made by a group called Genius Sonority. Genius Sonority, they
Womp, womp,
made
womp, womp. You're welcome.
Disney's Fairy Tinkerbell, Dragon Quest Swords. They popularized something called the Denpa series, and a lot of Pokemon puzzle games. Pokemon Troze, Cafe Remix. If there's a Pokemon puzzle game out there, they had a hand in it. That was what their thing was after Colosseum.
Were they the ones that did that Picross game on the Game Boy? Because I played that so much.
Don't know. Don't know. If you can find the name, I can find the studio. I don't know what the exact game is.
I believe it was Pokemon Picross.
Pokemon Pick Cross. Let me go ahead and pull that. Hang on. Pokemon
Yeah,
Pick a Peck? No, that's the Pokemon.
Picross. PICROSS.
PSC. ROSS, Pokemon Picross. Nope, that was the Jupiter Corporation. They were another group of people.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, these people basically their big claim to fame with Pokemon was Pokemon Colosseum, Pokemon XD, and then they also made what was the other one? It was really good. Shoot. Pokemon Battle Revolution. Battle
Yeah.
Love
Revolution.
that
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
Announcer was
It's
awesome.
it's so
Uh,
good.
minor divergence. Hands down, the best Pokemon spin-off game was Pokemon Pinball.
Them's fighting words. As
I mean,
someone who played
Snap, bro.
better
Pokemon
than
Snap.
Pokemon Pinball is better than Pokemon Snap.
I had
What?
Pokemon Pinball for the Game Boy, I think.
Yeah, it's better than
Pokemon
Pokemon.
Ranger.
Better,
Pokemon Mystery Dungeon.
better.
Come on.
Pokemon
Come on.
Pinball is the best.
Oh, hot take. I'm not going to deal with. We got a lot to cover. I'm not dealing with that right now. I got to purge that thought out of my brain. All right. So, like many of the spin-off regions, the spin-off games they make, they put you in different regions. Like if you go to play Pokken Tournament, you're not in Kalos, you're in a separate region. If you're in the cafe game, I'm assuming you're in a different region. In this case, you are in the Ores region. It is a crime-infested dust bowl with more crime than Pokemon. What city is it based off in the U.S.?
Isn't it like Phoenix?
One of
Yep.
the cities in the game is based off Phoenix.
They went. The entire inspiration of the game was Phoenix, Arizona, and then from there, just expanding upon the wildlife. And it's hysterical to me because I actively looked up the crime in Arizona at the time, like how bad it was. It was real bad back when they were checking it out. My headcanon is they got mugged on the streets of Phoenix, and they were so jarred by it coming from Japan that they immediately went back and made this game to be like, no Pokemon, only criminals, only violent criminals. And instead of like collecting badges and doing any of that fun stuff and making friends, you find this girl who can see the shadowy Pokemon for what they are, and you go in with your Snag'em tool, and every time you fight a bad guy, you can weaken their Pokemon enough to capture them. I will say, if you knock them out, if they fainted, those shadow Pokemon, you are not getting them back. Like there is no other chance to catch them. So it's almost like a Nuzlocke in that sense, where you got one shot to get them and you're not getting it again. If it
And
sounds
they don't respawn. Like there's no like multiple spawns of one.
no, there are no wild Pokemon. Only the people you fight.
Oh.
Well, the
I do
game
Some
was
of
know.
them have recoil moves and stuff too, which makes it more fun.
yeah, no, some of them had double edge.
Does it hold true with Go? So with Go, the canon is that if they are Shadow, they are like constantly in pain, and you purify them so that they are no longer in pain. But the Go players don't do that and keep them in perpetual agony because they do 20% more damage.
The shadow Pokemon had
Effectively,
different
yes.
yeah. Shadow Pokemon had different attacks, but if you purified them, you could get your like main attacks back.
And you also
Ah,
don't gain XP when you're in shadow mode.
Mm-mm.
interesting. Okay.
Just take the pain. Um, the game did sell well enough that it got itself a sequel, got Pokemon XD, which it shaved down its edges a bit. Your character is more of a hang on, I gotta find you. Like, so you see, that's our current protagonist on XD. I gotta pull him up because they may have watered him down a little bit. Instead of having the dude with the sick jacket and like the cool glasses and the unicycle of doom, we had him.
He looks like a spaghetti noodle.
Yeah, that's Michael. Him spaghetti. He's
He looks like a Ratchet and Clank side character.
That's a better question or better answer.
okay. I'm gonna show you his ride. Don't freak out. This is what he drives, at least in part of the game.
Dude, this guy's a dork.
Yeah, this guy's a loser. I hate him so much comparatively. Oh my god. Look at his face. Look at him so content on his little scooter.
I'll say honestly that last picture, the graphics don't look that bad. Like the
They're
one above it and that one look night and day.
they they were a
At the
little bit
time
better.
too, though, it was so sick seeing your Pokemon in 3D.
Yeah,
Did you
that
not play
was
Pokemon
the
Stadium?
Yeah, but
like
in
this.
better, slightly better 3D.
Slightly better 3D.
Yeah, this was GameCube, not Nintendo 64, so things looked obviously better. There were less sharp angles. There was cool to see them for the first time, to see like a whale mirror and all that stuff. Incidentally, slight side note: these are the people who Pokemon should have listened to when they were making their console game, because this was the only time where Wailord and Sableye and all these other ones looked like they should, like size wise. Let me see if I can find it. So there's a really great video of it that shows you like how they operated with this. So here is a snapshot from what this company did when they were given the reins of like making Pokemon battles. And that's the size difference.
Kyogre is tiny.
I mean, that's not a Kyogre, but like, yeah,
Or not
sure.
Kyogre, Groudon. Wow. Okay, Groudon is tiny.
It's not that Groudon is like tiny. Like, look next to the people. The people are tiny. Like, comparatively, Wailord's just huge. Like he should be. It's not that hard, Pokemon. Don't give me like a little dude. Sorry. This company did a really good job further down the line, and Pokemon Colosseum really did cut into that market. It's like trying to be a little more like Final Fantasy VII or Persona 2. They were trying to get away from the Pokemon formula. There's rumor that they never even played the games, like the mainline games. But again, I never found anything to justify that. I mean, as far as Pokemon settings go, Arizona is not the worst. I mean, granted, it is infested with crime, but in Pokemon XD, they did like let you go to, I don't know, 2 more green spaces. It wasn't all just a desert wasteland. Map's not too bad. If you pull it up, it's got different ecosystems. They have knowledge that there are grasslands and forests. And I don't know. I mean, it's not my first pick for any kind of Pokemon region or game to have, but I kind of like that it's Arizona. Just because no one in Japan is ever going to care about Arizona. This is not on a list of things. I don't know how they thought this was the way to go.
I like
But
it
I'm
though,
kind of
honestly.
We need
yeah,
we need we need a wasteland, Phoenix.
yeah, we need someplace terrible but within flight distance without having to learn another language other than English.
Arizona's really catching a lot of strays in this episode.
I mean, it catches a lot of strays with a lot of people. Like in one of the top comedies on TV for a while was The Good Place, and the main character was from Arizona. And every time like we made jokes about it, it was just like, yeah, and they're an Arizona dirtbag, and like everyone just accepted it.
And also Jacksonville caught a lot of strays on Good Place.
Oh, I mean, Jacksonville deserves them strays. Like it's not.
Duval.
Bortles. All right. So for the Pokemon of Ores, I actually had something for you, Chris. Hang on, let me go ahead and find it. I had it tucked away here. So I want you to guess, just give me a number in your head, how many Pokemon were available to catch in Pokemon Colosseum?
And this was in Gen 3. Or
Yeah,
like
it's
Gen 3
nothing
between
past
3 and
Gen
4.
4. Nothing past
Okay.
it.
So max we're looking at what, 400?
That's
Max.
adorable.
And so I would say that let's way undershoot it. Let's say 60.
No, you overshot it. There you go. There's your list.
I
Enjoy.
couldn't count that many. 51?
51.
I
That's
was like,
Technically there is Celebi, which is an event thing that you can't do unless you have a Japanese disc, and Jirachi's an American disc. 3 of those Pokemon you can only get if you have the e-reader peripheral and scan the appropriate Game Boy card with the barcode on it.
mhm.
Lucas, I do not see Umbreon or Espeon on this list though.
Oh, these are
They
only
were
the Shadow
given to
Pokemon
you.
because Ho-Oh is also in the game.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, but to get Ho-Oh in the game, you have to purify every single Shadow Pokemon, which is a lot, and then win 100 battles in a row at the Battle Tower. And beat everything in the game, basically. Basically, once you've beaten the entire game and there's literally nothing for you to use Ho-Oh for, you get to get Ho-Oh.
And then do these Pokemon not evolve?
They
Some of them
can.
do.
Because
Yeah.
like I see okay, so Quilava can become a Typhlosion.
Yes.
Yes, once you've purified it.
Yeah, remember, can't level up. Can't evolve. Got to purify it. Uh-huh. Like 60 was overshooting it. Like you did not have a lot to play with. You had this.
Also in Gen
When
3, I think this is the only way to get the Gen 2 starters.
yeah. And
Maybe actually,
also
no, I think you get one in, like, Emerald after you complete the entire Pokédex or something equally insane.
oh yeah, no, you're right. You're right. It was an Emerald where that was a thing.
Uh,
But
what is the real quick? Third row down, fifth in. It's like a giant green eye.
Vibrava.
Vibrava,
Oh, okay.
So you could get a Flygon if you wanted
which makes
to do
sense
it.
because if you think about it, Trapinches in the Arizona desert would be horrific.
Oh my god. That is actually one of the wild Pokemon you can catch in Pokemon XD.
You
Like is
fall
a
in a
trap.
hole and get killed by them?
I mean, you saw that shrimp on the scooter? You think they're gonna let anything that fun happen in the game?
No.
Yeah, that's right. If this was Pokemon Colosseum, absolutely you'd be dodging trap-inch nests and be killed.
Wes
Weirdly
would be
enough,
doing sick backflips on his motorcycle over the Trapinch pits.
no, oh my god,
I
that
mean,
would
it's
be
just a
cool.
giant antlion. I'm not sure what the scale is for antlions to pit size, but I mean, an antlion right now is, say it's a 1/4 inch, they'll dig a 2-inch pit in the ground. So if you scale out to a foot-long Trapinch, things get real silly.
Yeah, honestly, they would have to like build bridges over them, and then if people just don't listen, they'll just get swallowed up and eaten. But hey, that's ores. Like no one does anything. I'm even surprised there are Pokemon centers here, and not just like people dealing out like shoddy full heals outside of like the local Pokemart. I don't know, man. That place, it's a wretched hive of scum and villainy. But they did add some Pokemon that technically work with Arizona. Now, as Don stated, Trapinch and Vibrava, that makes sense. The only other one to me that was like, this is peak Arizona is Gligar. Again, this was before Gen 4. So Gligar was just a little guy. Um, but if I were to give Arizona a state Pokemon, it would be Gligar. Just that. Not only is it's part bat, part scorpion, and it enjoys hopping off of cliffs, swooping down and attacking people's face, only to then stab them with their venomous barb.
Yeah, that's the violent crime that they were talking about.
Yeah, that is something only a body fueled by Arizona iced tea and no water can produce. Although, admittedly, some people say that it could be based on a scorpion fly, which is a thing that you can find in Arizona. Admittedly, though, they're not dangerous. They just look awful. The stinger is actually not a stinger, it's their reproductive organs. But like it's still it's not a great look. I mean, but hey, Sandvale, excellent ability for something living out in the desert. Immunity, pretty good. Scorpions aren't immune to their own toxins, but they do have some resistance to it. So that makes some kind of sense. I don't know. I think Gligar, of all the Pokemon to just add like forgotten little guys to make the game more interesting, I think it fits. I think it
Gl-
works.
Gligar cracks me up as a Pokemon because, like, if you think of it in the context of when it came out, because there was no Gliscor and they just made this thing and they're like, yeah, this is good.
Look, okay, to be fair, it's Gen 2. There's Stantler, there's Quillfish, there's 30 Sudowoodo, there's how many other weird little guys did they make in Gen 2 with no stats?
Apom,
Apom, Yanma,
Every
it's
time,
half of
Don.
Dunsparce.
Dunsparce.
Don, I'm
Those
just imagining you in like a full suit in a courthouse, just naming them out, like the Dunsparces, the Quillfish, like just like no, show them some respect.
Does Gen 2 have the most retconned evolutions?
I mean, Delbird, yes.
Well, Delibert's
Dunsparce,
still
yes.
just there.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. No. You might be. Skarmory still hasn't gotten its day in the sun, but maybe at
Skarm
some point.
hasn't. I mean, it's a paradox, isn't really. Skarmory was just good from day one, though. Skarmory, I know in singles is still like really good. I'm sure
And
Eviolite Skarmory would be insane.
Titar,
Yeah, he's
Tyrann-
got a full. I'm talking about guys with no evolutions.
Murkrow.
you got
Honchkrow,
Honchkrow. Yeah. Shuckle was just Shuckle. Togekiss. Oh,
Togekiss.
Togetic was fine. It didn't need anything else, but then Togekiss came
well,
around.
Togekiss was a massive upgrade for it, and then being a fairy
Yeah.
type.
Upgrade, yes. Was it required? Not really, but still an upgrade. Tropius hasn't gotten an upgrade, and it will stay that way because it sucks. But
Weavile?
No, we just
yeah,
had Gen 2 was just Sneasel.
Or that's what I meant. That's what I meant.
yeah, like
Sneasel sucks.
Caesar got
Yeah.
yeah. Look,
Yeah, which
all I'm
was
saying is
crazy because pre-physical special split, they made a fast physical attacker with no physical moves. Because Ice and
Mm.
Dark were both special. And then there was Houndoom, who you couldn't catch until you were deep into Kanto.
which yeah, that's so dumb.
Murkrow was the same way. They made every dark type in the game was basically unobtainable
Love it.
until you're almost done with the game.
Would it have killed them to put it next to like the ghost town? Just put like a level 15 Murkrow hanging around to get
No, I think
apparently it would.
Murkrow and Houndour were both in Kanto. Tyranitar, you have to get a Larvitar to level 55 from Mount Silver, which is post Elite Four. And who's the other guy? Sneasel, I think, is also Mount Silver.
Either way.
Also,
Uh,
Ursaring.
What? Yeah, well now
uh,
we have Ursaluna.
yeah,
Ursaring
exactly. The
wasn't.
Gen 2 is the most upgraded.
Yeah.
Just like that the one like that was they're trying to fix their mistake. That's been the same way this whole time. With Gligar though, I think it's important to note that Arizona is home to well over a dozen different species of bats and scorpions. Sorry, the scorpions aren't as many species, but there are still highly represented in that area. There are tons of these animals that live out not just in the deserts, but also in the forest regions and the grasslands of Arizona. I think it's really, really cool that they. Dang it, Chris just keeps going. Yeah,
Mischievous and Giraffe Rig.
yes, I know. Feed that out of the chat. Point is, Gligar's
Yep.
great. Put him there. Moving on to Sudowoodo. I argue. Shut up. I
Sorry.
argue
Okay.
that Sudowoodo is a fossil Pokemon. That is my argument. Any questions, comments, or concerns? You can shove it up your butts.
Are you doing this because petrified wood?
Yes,
Okay.
I'm doing this because Petrified Wood, and that is why I think it is a great Pokemon for Arizona. Arizona literally has a place called the Petrified Forest National Park. It is not
It's
the
a
oh,
great park.
you've been there?
Yeah.
What was it like?
Oh, so I went there when I was like 12.
Okay.
But I remember like thinking it was like the coolest place. I mean,
I really want to go, and I do think it's one of the coolest places.
it's
I mean, the
it's like
national
yeah.
parks. It just I mean, how else? Where else are you gonna go where there's just piles of fossilized wood just sitting there? There are a few places in the world that can do it. The reason being that when petrified wood forms, it decomposes in wet ground with lots of minerals. The problem is you have to have it decay slow enough where the minerals can replace the cell wall and fill in the gaps. If it decomposes too fast, there's nothing for the minerals to latch onto. So it basically has to fall into water, then get covered up in something that is without oxygen in order for it to survive long enough to be petrified and then stick around.
It was the colors were just so beautiful. I
They're
remember
used to
just
make furniture. A lot of people will go out and find it and make tables out of it,
mhm.
which
Also,
is
Gen
kind of
2 doesn't have official fossil ones, so we can make this the unofficial fossil Pokemon. I'm cool with it.
yeah. No, it's fine. It could be a fossil Pokemon. That's what I was saying. Like Sudowoodo should be considered a fossil Pokemon in some regard. Even the Dex entry says Sudowoodo is closer to a mineral than a plant. The one thing that is technically that would kind of derail my plans is that
You do get an
it does.
Aerodactyl in Gen 2, fun fact.
You did?
You get what?
Do you know how to get Aerodactyl? Yeah, you have to trade a Chansey in like Pewter City you can trade it for an Aerodactyl.
That's such a cool. Okay, props for it being in Pewter City. I'm just imagining some kid left an old Amber there. They turned it into an Aerodactyl and nobody wanted it. And it's like, whatever, man. Just give me anything. A Chansey, please. Just give me one of those. I don't want to deal with this. That's really cool. I didn't realize that you get that in the game. But petrified wood can get wet. That's why people make tables out of it. And if you throw water at a Sudowoodo, it flips and run away. But
Well, it
overall,
attacks you.
I don't know. Has Sudowoodo ever been useful for anything?
Yeah, so I have two Sudowoodo theories here. So one, what if petrified wood, it's wood that's been mineralized. What if those minerals are something like calcium that are like susceptible to like waters that are low pH or other like acidic things? So what if Sudowoodo's makeup is like I said, like what if he's got a calcium sort of base to his minerals? And what if the water in Johto is on the acidic side? So when you spray him, you're actually dissolving him a little bit, which he would obviously take very much offense to.
I like it. I like it. What's the second one?
So I'm looking at Sudowoodo right now, and I don't think it has. Let me check Limitless. I'm pretty sure it's never done anything ever, but I will take a look.
I hope it plays somewhere like the highest it's placed is like 200 or something in a tournament of 201. God. I mean,
I
its
can't
stats
find
aren't
anything up.
exactly great.
So I'm looking at its stats as well. One thing it has for it is it's very, very slow, which means it's very slow in Trick Room, which can be good. The other thing I'm looking at running some damage calcs real quick, noticing it's okay. Yeah, so Sudowoodo can one-shot max HP Calyrex Ice Rider if you are Terra Rock with Rockhead Head Smash.
We've said it before. Rockhead is a hell of a drug.
And it gets Sucker Punch, so it technically checks both of the horses.
I think you just solved the meta, Don.
Yep. Anyone going to
How
Worlds, hit me up. I have many good ideas.
how many times have we found a Pokemon that is not quite available that just finds out, no, wait, this kills the horses? This is like at least the second time. It was Golisopod the last
Honestly,
time.
if you just need to make a trash mon viable, if it learns Helping Hand or if it one-hit KOs a really good thing, you can probably just cram it on a team enough.
Like, yeah, no, it's either this or Golisopod that has been like the shakeup of like, yeah, no, this guy just wrecks everything that it comes near. Like, sorry, the horses specifically, not everything, but still, pretty neat. The last Pokemon that I think they added in the first game that they did a good job of, historically speaking, is Miltank. Yes, I know it's another one that wasn't fixed yet. Calm down. But Arizona's history.
Miltank is
For
off the top of your head, how fast do you guys think Miltank is?
isn't it like 105?
I thought you were going to think it was slower. It's base 100, which puts it on the same tier as things like Zapdos, Charizard, Typhlosion.
Yeah, no,
Known
like
for
I
their
thought it was.
speed,
It's
cows.
fast. It's faster than Urshifu. It's faster than Lunala. It's faster than Hydreigon.
Okay, I'm trying to see if I can find. I'm looking it up to the fastest cow in the world that's ever lived. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. Apparently, there's like a cow racing scene that I fell into a rabbit hole that I don't. Okay, cool. I found it. So there
Oh,
was
I can't
one
wait to
cow.
gamble on cow racing at 2 in the morning.
In 2004, there was a race for a cow, and this cow ran a mile in 9 minutes, 18 seconds, 12 nanoseconds. 9 minutes, 18 seconds. That's the time to
Okay.
beat for fastest cow. Yeah, no, that's again, I don't know where they got that stat from. Do you ever think that maybe like someone at Game Freak leaned on the scale a little bit for speed and like just, oh crap, what I do? I don't want to tell them I messed up. That would be dishonorable. And they just kind of just pushed it out the door.
I mean, I'm not gonna say I don't think that happens, but
Yeah, I mean, look, Arizona's history though, ranching was like a huge part of why people could settle there. When the Spanish showed up, they brought cows and whatnot along with the other terrible stuff. They were getting that going since like the 1600s. When America got the land after the Mexican-American War in the 1800s, the government even promised about 160 acres of land to each person who could manage it as a way of attracting people to live there. And one of the ways you could do that was with cows. So they've done stuff like this in the past. So I think it's a really good fit. Now, admittedly, they did add, I believe they added they added Tauros into the next game, which I think is a more fitting historically. Although apparently Arizona does have a few dairy farms out there. I didn't know they did. Oh, reading Miltank's Pokedex entries is just unsettling, but also not as powerful as I thought. Miltank can make 5 gallons of milk a day, which is adorable. Some cows can do up to 6 or 7 gallons of milk a day.
yeah,
And that's
I remember. I
pretty nuts.
remember that thinking that that was underwhelming on Miltank's side.
In Miltank's defense, Miltank weighs, I think, like 120 pounds.
Okay, so size-wise, okay.
Size
And
wise, that's a lot of milk.
milk also weighs 8.6 pounds per gallon, roughly.
But you know what, Lucas? How many cows can punch ghosts?
Is it no
Also very
Scrappy?
true. It does
Yeah,
have Scrappy. Miltank
Can
actually has 3 as Scrappy, Sap Sipper, and Thick Fat. Also, unlike the currently still fraud Sudowoodo, Miltank does in fact have a top 3 at a Argentina special event under its belt, which is basically a regional top cut.
I'm sorry. There's something about the idea of like, yeah, I'm the greatest in Argentina 20 years ago at a minor
20
conference.
2017 third place, Guido Michelis with this team is actually sick. Tapu Bulu, Sea King, Starmie, Flareon, Braviary.
Okay, not gonna lie, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Oh
I
God.
will one thing about Miltank that did strike me though is that it says that if it is around babies, it actually produces more nutritional milk.
Oh, that's an actual thing that cows do, right?
I thought
I
they
guess it
could do
doesn't
that.
really enrich their milk, but I think they might produce at a greater amount.
Yeah.
So I was reading this as around like human babies.
Oh. Well, I know the in-game stuff says that Miltank has a lot of
Health
like
benefit.
insanely nutritious properties.
Yeah.
Okay, here it is in Ultra Moon. Its milk is delicious and chock full of nutrients. If you drink too much, it'll make your stomach hurt. So be careful.
They say the flavor of its milk changes with the seasons, which I guess could be diet based.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
Also, shiny Miltank is like electric blue, so maybe there's like a blueberry flavor.
I do.
Ah,
love
blue
I
milk,
do
Star
love-
Wars reference. We did it. We added the Star Wars reference. We did it, guys. It's the blue milk. It's the thing. We did the thing.
Oh no, you're John. You're right. It says if it there's an earlier one that says if it had a baby, the milk it produces contains more nutrition.
Okay, well, yeah, I mean that's
Yeah.
how dairy cows
Yeah.
work.
Also, I do want to point out there's one downside in Alpha Sapphire. It says, and I quote, people who can't drink milk turn it into yogurt and eat it instead. I can tell you right now, there are people who are lactose intolerant or like just dairy intolerant who's like, I don't think that's gonna help. Just make it
No.
chunkier.
That doesn't help.
That's that's not great. Sorry. No, that's not how that works. Which is very weird given the height of lactose intolerance in Japan. You guys should know this. This is your culture more than anything. Oh, whatever. So in Pokemon XD, they added more Pokemon, but to me, I feel like they should have added more to Colosseum. Like you said, there are less than 60 Pokemon you can actually catch and work with. There are at least 3 I kind of wanted to add before we wrapped up. One, why did you leave Arbok for the second game? You needed to put Ekans in there. Ekans should have been the starter if you're in Arizona. Like,
Yeah,
no.
they got a lot of snakes out there.
Yeah, no, it should have been either your starters, if you're starting off in Arizona, should be Sudowoodo, Gligar, or Ekans. Those are the 3 you get to pick from. Because that is like, Ekans is peak Arizona. Do you know how many different species of rattlesnake are in that state?
No.
14!
Almost as many Pokemon as you can catch.
Shut up, but you're right. Yeah. 14 different species of rattlesnakes, and we didn't get one single snake.
Dunsparce is kind of like a snake.
That's true.
Yeah, Dunsparce is a snake. Oh, fine. I will give you that. There is one fat.
That's my new high horsepower argument. If it learns Coil, it's a snake Pokemon.
I appreciate rattlesnakes because they come with like a warning. Because like I don't like snakes, and I know that snakes don't want to be around me. So like when we were in Arizona, we got out of the car and we hear the like the and it was just like, thank you. We'll be going. And we got back in the car and left.
I think I've heard some. I need to do a little more looking into it, but I have heard some places where rattlesnakes are heavily sort of just killed off out of hand, which don't do that. That it's selected for rattlesnakes that are less willing to rattle because that's typically how you find a rattlesnake if you're looking to look at it, catch it, or kill it. So
I read the same study.
Yeah, it's selecting potentially for quieter rattlesnakes. So please stop killing rattlesnakes.
It was one of my talking points when I talk about snakes at work. It's like, hey, you ever heard of a rattlesnake roundup where they killed all the snakes? Turns out more people got bit afterwards because the rattlesnakes were not warning you anymore. So stop it. Just not great.
So, but per Don's rules, other snake Pokemon
Fearwort is a snake.
Furret, Melodic, uh,
Most of these are very snaky, to be fair.
Sizzlipede, and
Zygarde.
Centiskorch.
Okay, come on. Yeah, Zygarde was easy. But like this isn't as
Orthworm.
bad as the
This is not as bad as Dive, but
no,
for
not as
No.
bad as high horsepower.
for it is a
Oh,
snake.
my head.
Yeah, so that's the only real upset is for it being a snake.
The other thing I was upset about is that I kind of had to like punch my way into making sure that Sudowoodo was like a fossil type because there are no fossils available in the games. And Arizona is like peak fossil hunting territory for a lot of people. People will actually go out there looking for different bones from multiple different like times and finding all kinds of ocean creatures and terrestrial creatures. There's a lot of really cool fossils, and they added nothing. Nada. I mean, it would have been so easy to just throw in like a fossil criminal who stole them from a museum and you had to go beat him up. Oh, wait, he turned them into shadows, like shadow fossils in a quick amount of time because now they're possessed and picked up. It could have been something. Has a ton of fossils. You should have thrown them in the fight. Now, the last one they should have added is Pokemon XD. They did it. They did it right. They should have done it earlier. They should have put in a Sandshrew. It's an armadillo, for God's sakes. It's your, like, there's what, 4 ground types available in Pokemon Colosseum that you can pick from? Feel like you
There's
should have had
Vivava, Quagsire,
Piloswine,
Piloswine, and other guy, I think.
other guy. Yeah,
Are
him
there
with the
3?
with the face.
I think it's just those 3.
No, it was just the
See?
3. Okay, yeah, no. So we added the
No, there was
4th.
Gligar.
Oh, Gligar.
Gligar. See,
Gligar
we
who
assume he's
learns
poison.
no ground moves at all.
Yeah, that's. I remember you telling
Or
me that
flying
once.
moves at all.
Nothing.
Doesn't it know?
Not
It
through
knows
level up.
aerial is.
Yeah, via TM. It gets
Oh,
not.
okay.
It does not get a single level up move that's stab.
Oh, okay.
That was also upset. That's upsetting. Man, Gen 2 really needed to get their act together. No wonder they upgraded all of them. They sucked. But in any case, Pokemon Colosseum is like a weird blip in our history. Like, granted, there are upgrades that could have been made for sure. Things were a little bit clunky at times. Some of the battles are a bit longer, but man, when you get that Switch 2, Chris, you got to play this thing. It is an entire trip into a time in Pokemon where you really didn't have like the Pokemon connection. You had the battling, sure, but like the animations for the moves were really cool, like especially for the time. You had a lot of different characters that you normally wouldn't meet. Oh my gosh,
Insanely good in-game music.
oh my god, yes. Oh my lord. All right, you've heard us talk about this character a lot, but the fact is we haven't mentioned him once in this episode, and we have to. Mirror B is the coolest bad guy you'll ever fight in your life. His music is sick. Now, just by looking at him, what is his main Pokemon? What is his Pokemon of choice? He's
I
got
have
nothing.
no idea where to start.
Don?
I know this. Do you want? Oh, you want to just say it?
Yeah, Don, give him his answer.
Mirror B likes to do some dancing,
Mm-hmm.
as does Ludicolo,
Yeah. It's he
and he
he runs
runs a
like
bunch of Ludicolos on a rain team. You got double speed, like water stab Ludicolo at a time, like in game too. Some of the battles in Colosseum can be on the more difficult side. There's very limited times to level up. There's finite battles in the game. You can't really grind too much. And you don't really have a lot of good ways to hit the Ludicolos.
I will say in Pokemon XD, this is one of the few times where they did upgrade his look a lot. I like his look in XD more. A little bit
Yeah,
slicker.
they cleaned it up. The
They cleaned it
yellow
up.
outfit was a little much.
How dare you? But you're right. Nah, again, XD didn't. XD had some weird stuff in it too. I have to before we go. I have to show you the mech. So again, we're never gonna get these games like they're never gonna remake these games again. So it's important to know that occasionally they do some weird stuff. In XD, they created a Mecha Groudon and a Mecha Kyogre. Here's Mecha Groudon.
Heck yeah.
Right? Look at
Yeah.
that. And Mecha Kyogre was your way of transporting across the water. That was also the sickest, coolest thing ever. Like all the coolness was drained from the bikes and put into that.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah,
That's
that puts Miraidon to shame.
like that. Oh god! Can you imagine riding your Miraidon? Like, don't worry, buddy, we'll get to the island soon. And then out of nowhere, this orange-haired twerp just drives past you on this, the sickest thing ever created by man or machine. Oh my god, it's so cool! Love these games. Can't wait for them to come out on the Switch too. Ah, good stuff. Chris, have we converted you? Will you play?
When I get a Switch 2, I will give it a try.
Huzzah! Done. Keep playing via your very legal non-Game Freak angering means because again,
Of course.
of course, yeah, it's good stuff. Ah, well, that was fun. Again, I love this game so much. But if y'all want to hear some of us talk about Pokemon some more, we got some conventions coming up, right, Chris?
That's right. It's 2 weeks.
Yeah, no, 2 weeks or so. We're going to be going to Raleigh. We're going to be going to GalaxyCon. And then, as per tradition, me and Don are going to kick it in DragonCon. And it's going to be sick as well. If you guys are in those areas of Atlanta or in Raleigh, hit us up at those conventions. We're so glad to talk with you guys and have a lot of fun. But for now, we got to get going. Have a wonderful rest of your day or night. We'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye, everybody.